239.
Dude.
239 Formula One races without a podium until now. And I think it's going to be one of the slogans of the thing is like Max doing Max things, you know?
His win.
No. It was given to him by the British stewards. To a British driver.
To a British driver. There's no conspiracy there.
I'm just stating facts, you know? Is it Christian Horner or Christian Horny? We don't know. No, yeah. It was a surprise, man. It was completely. I never expected. Like even then, like not even that. I didn't expect it to happen mid-season. Like if that was gonna happen to me, it was gonna happen at the end, like 2026 or so. And I had no like idea, and I had no expectation of that.
You know what this sort of proves to me though?
What happened?
Is that a lot of the times when we hear rumors, we hear about them like weeks in advance, and then like sometimes they turn out to be true, sometimes they don't. But something this big, like we didn't hear anything. Like it caught us completely off guard. To the point where I'm just like, I'm not gonna believe any of the rumors anymore, because
if something serious is gonna happen, it's gonna be like right away, and there's not gonna be rumors about it. It's just gonna happen.
What do you think was the cause?
I have no idea, man. Like I know they're doing bad. I guess it was because a lot of people are leaving. Adrian Newey, the other guy that is with a steak company right now, Whitley.
Okay.
Like some key people in the team. Maybe that's the reason. But again, like you cannot say like, what was it, like how many years with the team, how many championships, like how many wins races. So I like, if you see the whole thing, he was like one of the best for sure. And then it's like they're just, I guess it was like the last 2 years maybe that they've been doing bad kind of, or this year, maybe last year they still won. No, they won the individual championship, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, you could start seeing the cracks last year, and now this year for sure. But again, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if like 20 years from just 1 year. To me, it's unfair.
I don't know. Like, there has to be more to it than performance. I mean, you can get over a bad year, a bad 2 years, man. I mean, especially like you said, right? When there's a track record, 20 years of, maybe ups and downs or whatever. Do you think there's, again, we go back, rumors, right? We don't know. But there's like, this is a sign that Max is leaving because they couldn't hold on to him, and it was his job to keep him. And
maybe it was a last effort of keeping Max, because from what I heard, it was like Christian was not 100% on team Max. It was more Marco. So it was like maybe the team saying like, you know what, we'll get rid of this guy, but you stay. Max. Maybe that was, again, all rumors. We will never know. But I don't know where, man. I don't know where. It was on my birthday, July, on Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
And thank you, July 9. And yeah, like the gift that Red Bull gave to me, I guess. And maybe karma from, the Aztec curse that we've been talking about. So
that's what I was going to say is, I don't know if they're related, but ever since Checo left, it's been one bad thing after another to the Red Bull team.
It could be coincidence. It could not be coincidence.
It could be more than that.
Yeah,
it could be the Aztec curse that we always talk about.
Yeah. But I think that's a good place to start. I think that's a good place to start.
Welcome back to Turn 3, guys. Today we're going to talk about the British Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And what a doozy it was.
Man, that's why I love to be a Formula One fan, man. This is the races I live for. It's like everything you think is gonna happen goes out the window, and you just here for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, right? Like, well, to that point, like the rain is also one of those things that, like, you take any race that is call it a predictable race.
Yeah.
You add rain to the equation and it just throws everything off.
Yeah.
For this race in particular, though, like it changed everything.
And it was like all over the place, right?
Yeah.
It was like it was kind of like cloudy, and then it was like raining, and then it stopped, and it was a little bit sunny, and then another rain,
Yep.
and like all of that in 2 hours, plus all the Formula One drama in there. So
I feel bad for like the audience that was there. Like they take out an umbrella, they put it away, they put on sunscreen, they put an
I think
umbrella.
they're used to it, man. I think it's like the British weather, it's like a regular Sunday for them.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But as an American, I
Yeah.
definitely I can't relate.
And
for sure.
Texas, it's
especially in Texas, for sure. But yeah, it was definitely an eventful race. But before we jump into the race, let's talk a little bit about qualies because I think especially Q3, right? I of course, and we'll get into predictions later, but I had predicted a Lando win, but as an Oscar fan, I was really excited like in those last like 2 minutes of of Q3 because he had put in like an awesome lap, and I'm watching him go through his lap and like purple sector, and then I'm watching them turn green because like right behind them is Max Verstappen.
That's correct.
Just flying, man. I don't know like where that came from, but he was just purple sector. Wow.
We keep saying it, man, and I think it's gonna be one of the slogans of the thing is like Max doing Max things.
Yeah.
It's just showing even if he's not in the best car, he's still probably one, if not the best driver out there, and he for sure, like you saying, like Piastri did an awesome lap, and then Max Verstappen came back right away and is like purple sector, and then yellow sector.
Yeah.
But either way, he got the pole for qualies.
Yeah, and I'm cheering him, or rather, I'm cheering Oscar Piastri on, and I'm like, surely this is pole, and it was until it wasn't a few seconds later, right? And so yeah, it was definitely like a really interesting Q3 because it got me out of my seat, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like I was really excited.
And it was still the last moment. It was like right when it like the time was over and everything. Yeah,
for sure. Let's talk a little bit about, because you mentioned it before, like the British press and British drivers, and how bad were they this weekend, man?
I think for me, maybe this is how can you say it? This is a controversial take.
Sure.
I don't like F1 British media, man. I think they think they're the best thing ever, and they just talk about British drivers good all the time, and everybody else is bad. There's a bias, I think, on there, and yeah, and I'm biased against them, and that makes me kind of like biased against the English drivers too.
And I will say, I mean, like some of the greatest drivers in history have been British, right? Like I'm not taking away from that. It's just
there's a lot of history. I could understand that,
right.
but the media side of it, it's where I'm not a fan of it.
Okay. But yeah, so I part of me was like, if we have a British person on pole, then the media is going to be a media frenzy, right? And it wasn't.
They took out their highlights of the day, I guess, for Saturday. Verstappen took care of that, but yeah, and of course there's also a lot of British drivers, so there's a lot of good drivers, and there's a lot of talk about them. But yeah, not a big fan of the media,
the British media.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the craziness, the unpredictable race that was the British Grand Prix this year.
And it was awesome. I love it. Like it was great. I love, like you said before, just put a little bit of rain in there and everything changes, but you could see who is the you could see the driver side of it a little bit better when the rain comes, because some of the drivers don't have that much experience in the rain, and you could see that sometimes.
Yeah,
a lot of the, I think we saw in the race, we saw, of course, I think Bortoleto has issues, Ajar has issues, so you see a lot of the rookies having issues, and of course you expect like Alonso, Leclerc, Max Verstappen in the rain, they're gonna do good because they have done that in the past. So
the veterans that are, they've been around, they've done this before.
Yeah.
Do we start at, the beginning of the race start?
Yeah. We can start, of course, Max Verstappen, pole position on quali, right behind behind him, Oscar Piastri, and then Lando Norris. So we know for sure the two McLaren's best car, and they're really good drivers. So Max has his work cut out. But again, lights go out, away we go, and Max Verstappen keeps the lead in the first turns and stuff like that. And then we go for around turn 4, I think, and then we saw a yellow flag coming out, and it was Liam Lawson that he got crashed into. It was Ocon, but I think it wasn't his fault. I think he got sandwiched with Sonoda. There was nowhere to go, and he went and hit Lawson, and he had to retire the car in the first lap, unfortunately.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Racing incident. These things happen. Right.
Yeah. And in most times it happens on the first lap, and sometimes the stewards gives a little bit of leniency towards that because it's 20 cars and it was wet and everything was going, and so something might happen. Most likely it's gonna happen. So there was the crash. Liam was out, of course, and then we get a restart, and then I think Piastri passes Verstappen, which is really important because the rain is coming. So he passes right before the rain gets hard right there.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, and like we talked about before, right? Like it's even without the rain, being in obviously being in first position is important, obviously for very obvious reasons. But most importantly, like dirty air, it can really affect the car's performance. And so it's one of those things like the sooner we knew it was going to happen, the McLarens have a better car. They needed to get ahead of Verstappen, and the sooner they can do that, the better. And it didn't take very long, a few laps, until it finally happened. And so we have Piastri leading the race. Very excited as a Piastri fan.
And then right after that, Lando overtakes Verstappen during the rain, but then they get a Bortoleto, I think, crash. And then they get a safety car and they go into the pits, and then something happened from McLaren side. McLaren take a low pit stop for Lando, and the position that he had taken from Verstappen got taken back. Verstappen passes him in the pit stop thanks to the McLaren team, unfortunately.
Which I gotta tell you is one of those really interesting things that like you don't really the difference between a good pit stop and a bad pit stop is fractions of a second, maybe a second, something like it's almost nothing. And in this particular case, it was enough to set them back a position, which I think is crazy if you think about it. Like at that point, it's not even really on the driver anymore. It's on the team, and that's oftentimes as Formula One fans, like we forget, like it's not just the driver; the team has a lot to do with it as well. So
we still have rain. The safety car comes out because of the rain. It's too hard. I have a question for you.
Sure.
I know most of the drivers were on intermediate tires, right? My question is, where are the wet tires?
So for as long as I've been watching the sport, everybody hates them. I don't like. Obviously, it's they're so bad. I guess apparently they're so bad that like they'd rather risk crashing than putting those tires on, which I think is crazy to me.
To me, it's so crazy because they go in intermits when there's rain, and when they're supposed to put the wets, the safety car comes out. So it's super bad that the safety car has to come out, but it's not as bad in order to put the wet. So I think from what I have heard, it's Pirelli's fault. They need to work on that one better because, like you said, unless there's like pretty much a river on the track, there's no point of putting the wets. You're slower with the wets than with the intermediate, even if you're losing the car,
But to your point, right? Like if the safety car is going to come out when it's really bad, then there's no need for them. The full wet tires, right? Like the blue ones or whatever they are. There's no need for them. Nobody likes them, and when it gets bad enough to have to use them, the safety car comes out.
The safety car comes out, or if it gets worse, they stop the race with a red flag or whatever. So I don't know. It was just a question. Like, what's the point of the wet tires if they're not gonna use it? You know,
it was heavy rain.
Yeah.
Like if there was a time to use them, it was during this race for sure.
Yeah. After that, all wet tires. The safety car, of course, it's raining. Everybody, most of the people are in inters. Whoever is on a slick is having a hard time right there. So the safety car comes in, and then there's a crash between Hadjar and Antonelli, and it's because, of course, the Hadjar crashes from behind with Antonelli because there's no visibility. Like you were saying, they're spraying a bunch of water into the other drivers, and it's not like they have brake lights. You don't see them. The lights that you see is like they're charging the battery. So he was saying in the radio, like, man, it came out of nowhere. I just like didn't have a reaction time. And this is the same Hadjar from that famous video on the tunnel on Monaco, which he has like great reaction time, but
it was an F2, right? Like,
correct. But super amazing reaction time, and then when there's water and low visibility, there's nothing, even with the best reaction times, there's nothing he can do. You know, he crashes into him and then goes into the wall, crashes. And unfortunately, Antonelli gets a lot of damage, and both of them have to retire the cars. And at this point, we already lost 5 cars, man.
5 cars, dude. Isn't it crazy?
So there's 15 drivers, and the top 10 gets points. So there's like a lot of chances for the other drivers.
And no spoilers, but that turns out really well at the end. But we'll talk about it. To your point, and what you were just talking about, he came out of nowhere. Let's talk about that restart, which is the probably one of the biggest talking points of this race.
Lap 21.
Lap 21. There's a safety car, and it's about to end. And we have Oscar Piastri, who I am very excited is in the lead of the race. And I was watching it, and I saw him almost stop. And I go, that's weird. Like, what happened there? I thought like his car had died or something. I don't know. I really didn't know what had happened. And obviously, sort of Max sort of has to like react and sort of get out of the way, and he almost passes him. And then in my head, I kind of thought that this was Oscar's attempt to do sort of like he passed me in the...
He gets a penalty.
That kind of thing. And then I go, he doesn't need to. Like, the car's better. Why would he do that? Like, why would he risk that? And so I go, well, I don't know. So whatever.
We'll let it go.
And then they're like, there's a penalty. Maybe. Like the stewards have like noted it, and there's a penalty. And I get so angry, man. I go, no, why? He's winning.
The funny thing also is like, from when I was watching it, the commentators were saying like, oh, that's a penalty for Verstappen. Because he passed under a safety car. So everybody was like, oh, it's a Verstappen penalty. And then we saw it on the TV. It's like, Piastri is under investigation, and it's like, oh, what happened here?
The old Uno reverse card, right? Dude, I'll tell you, like, for real, I was so angry at the time. I was like, this can't, like, why? What are you talking about? And yeah, maybe it was just me being unreasonable, because obviously I'm rooting for Oscar Piastri, right? He gets noted for the penalty, and then it actually comes through. It's a 10-second penalty, man. Like, that's a pretty harsh penalty.
If you want to compare it, you can compare it to the Verstappen-Russell incident, that when he actually went and crashed into him, it's the same level of the penalty. So they both get 10 seconds penalty point. But man, I don't think it's the same. I don't think it was. I don't think it's at the same level as what Verstappen did to Russell. But I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to the stewards, because we need to remember it's wet and it was raining. So I think that's what they gave such a harsh penalty. But I don't think it was 10, maybe 5. I think 5 was okay.
Yeah. I've heard that too. again, my reaction was anger. And then it wasn't until later and after the race, there's all this like, look at how much he slowed down. And it was something crazy. And I'm talking miles per hour because in America we use miles per hour. It was like 120, I think, 20 miles an hour to 60 or to no, it was more than that. It was
he went 100 miles an hour in like 1 second.
Oh, he dropped like 100 miles an hour, and right in a fraction of a second, and I go, okay, okay, I get it now.
I get it.
I understand now. So if they're both moving, a jar can't see Antonelli, and he crashes into him. I mean, imagine something from 1 second to another. There's somebody in front of you. So, okay, I get it. And after I sort of put that into perspective and saw like, okay, it was very dangerous. That's when I kind of said like, okay, I think the penalty is merited. 10 seconds was a lot.
It was a lot.
It's a lot. But again, do they? Maybe it's a good question for you. Is should they give a penalty based on what happened, like the consequences of what had happened, or like what could have happened? Because like nothing happened.
Yeah,
it could have, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then with George and Max,
something happened. Yeah. No, I see your point. And again, I will go back with to the stewards and the wet part of the thing, of the race and the incident. And it's like you said before, there was no need. There was no need of braking like that. Like he could have avoided everything, like nothing. There was no drama if he didn't do that. And again, I see his point, because if technically he did nothing wrong.
Right.
Nothing wrong. Because he stopped right after the safety car was gone, like the lights went off and everything, and he's the one that decides the pace. So from what I heard, he brakes so hard because that's what they do when they need temperature in the brakes, in the tires, and everything.
Okay.
And he decided like, I'm gonna slow down a lot. But again, I think the stewards gave him the harsh penalty because of the weather. That was the main reason. Like there was no need for it, and plus the wet, and we saw Hadjar what happened. So all of that combined, the stewards went with 10-second penalty, which to me was harsh. I think most people think was harsh, but at the end of the day, that's what they decided, and that's it.
Yeah, and even we're gonna. Just for the sake of discussion, I'm gonna jump ahead. In the cool down room, he said something like, "Oh, I braked under the safety car, and I guess apparently you can't do that." Like he said it like with that attitude, and it kind of like, okay, maybe he didn't quite know that there was like rules in place or something. I don't know.
Again, technically, he did nothing wrong. Like if you follow the rules, like once the lights of the safety car goes off, he gets to, again, he's the one at the front, he gets to decide that.
There has to be something stopping them from braking 100%. He can stop the race if he wanted to.
Well, Formula One cars don't stop. That's if they stop, they get bad. From what I know.
Oh, okay.
But either way, like I understand what you said, but there's nothing in the rules that say like, oh, you have to slow down so much or something like that. There's nothing like
that. I went from anger to like acceptance, and like you're bringing me right back up to anger.
I can see that. Again, technically, he did nothing wrong, but again, the stewards went to the safety side of it, and again, there was no reason for it other than the temperature of the brakes or the tires or whatever. Okay. But yeah, that's why he was saying it like that. Like apparently you can do that. Apparently.
Okay. So obviously, 10-second penalty. Yeah. He serves it in the pit lane.
Yeah.
And then obviously Norris
takes over,
steals his win.
No. It was given to him by the British stewards to a British driver.
There's no conspiracy there.
I'm just stating facts.
The events as they transpired.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I am very angry right now. Actually.
Yeah.
I need to drink some water.
Cheers. So yeah, So yeah, Norris passes to him because he goes into the pits, serves his 10-second penalty, and gets to second place, of course.
Okay, I've read some fan, I don't even know, suggestions, ideas. What do you call them? Like armchair experts, people who
Yeah,
are
like us,
exactly,
like armchair
armchair
experts.
experts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people like us, right?
Yeah.
They said, why not serve the penalty and then sort of argue it with the stewards later after the race, and then maybe you can get away with it, as opposed to you can't go back and like not. You already served the penalty. You've done the time.
Correct.
You can't get it back.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I have two things. From the commentators on the TV, I heard that I'm not sure. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong.
They will. I'm sure they will.
Someone said that you can't. Like you have to serve it in the race.
Got it.
Or as far as I know. The other thing is like I think he needed to go to the pits at some point. So if they go into the pits, change the tires, and don't serve the penalty, they probably could get another penalty.
Oh, I see.
So maybe it could get worse. But I see the point that they were saying. But it could happen, but it didn't happen. It's like a hindsight thing, you know? Like
and truthfully, like the last thing you want is for them to say, okay, well then you're just gonna serve those 10 seconds in the next race. And then oh man, like
now you're in the back foot for the next race,
race,
yeah. And that, I think that was the moment. That penalty was the moment that decided pretty much the race. Because if it was a 5-second penalty, from what I remember, they were about 5 seconds close at the end of the race, right?
Yeah.
So it could have been a really good ending. Maybe the two McLarens fighting at the end if it was a 5-second, but it was a 10-second penalty, and we didn't get to see that. And what we got to see was Lando Norris taking his home race victory for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, again, not a conspiracy. He earned it, apparently,
again,
I guess.
Again, British stewards, British media, British driver winning the British Grand Prix.
Yeah. No, there's no suspicious, nothing suspicious about that.
Coincidence, no coincidence right there.
Yeah. I will say I would have been way more suspicious if it was like Hamilton winning or something like that. Because I feel like, although he's great on this track, like he did really well.
Man, you heard the stat, right? Like it's been 10 years of Hamilton being in the podium on the British Grand Prix. Like this was it was going to be the 11th year, but this is a perfect jump segue to who got the third place, you know?
I'm so excited about who actually got the podium, man.
That's one of my best moments in this season ever, or in Formula One lifetime that I know them, is one of the best histories that I have heard, stories and everything. Yeah,
for sure. We're talking, of course, about Niko Hülkenberg.
Niko Hülkenberg
getting his first ever podium in a Sauber.
In a Sauber, yeah.
In a Sauber kick steak Sauber, whatever their name is.
One of the worst, probably the worst car in Formula One right now.
Yeah. It is literally a tractor.
He got first ever podium in his 15-year Formula One career, man.
How many races was it?
239.
Dude.
239 Formula One races without a podium until now.
Isn't it amazing that like he just continued? Like at no point did he sort of lose faith or lose hope. Yeah. Like, you know, you keep doing. He's been doing really well these last few races, man. Like his
qualifiers, man. His qualifiers have been great, and when even he doesn't have a really good car, he gets to the points a lot of the times. And I think one of the best seasons for Haas was because of him and Kevin Magnussen. I think he did a better job than Kevin, but both of them got the team to a great place from before where they were.
And I remember having done a few episodes of the podcast talking about them as a duo, and how, you know, you had like Kevin Magnussen holding up traffic so that Hülkenberg could get like a pit stop in or something like that. Just like, but look at the you know how far he's come from being, you know, fighting for like points like a 10, you know, like
Yeah,
a P10
even
or
one
something like that.
point, even
Yeah,
1 point.
and so all of a sudden being on the podium,
Yeah.
dude, I was so happy to see that. I almost forgot about the whole Oscar losing.
Almost, almost.
It was there, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like it was.
No, man, I didn't care about it. I didn't care about it. I was super happy for Hülkenberg once I heard all of it and the 15 years, and it reminded me kind of like Checo when he won his first race after like 10 years in Formula One.
Mhm.
It was some kind of like the same story. Yeah, it was super awesome. He truly deserves that, and yeah, like you said, in one of the worst cars, getting a podium, and that's what the weather does to the Formula One, right? Even the underdogs can get like a really good race, and they did a great strategy,
Mhm.
and also Hulkenberg performed.
Yeah,
So everything came together to give them the first ever podium.
for sure. Do you think that this victory and obviously his performance for the last few races, um, how many good years do you think he has left? I mean, he's been in the sport for a while now too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's
I would say like it depends. I think most of the drivers it is not so much the age. I think the sport kicks you out
okay.
because new drivers come in and replace you. But I think it could be like a couple more years, maybe 2, 3, even 5. We have Hamilton and Alonso, which
Sure.
of course they're both world champions, so you cannot
It's not
compare
like an
them exactly.
apples to apples, yeah.
Hmm. But he's been doing great, man, and he already has a contract for Audi for next year, so he set up at least one more year. So
Right. Well, because I was thinking everything changes next year. I
mhm,
mean, potentially, right?
hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully. Um, every team has an opportunity to be the new Red Bull, the new
hmm,
McLaren, whatever,
yeah,
just based on the new regulations. So, you know, Audi is no different. Like
yeah,
they may be the new team, right?
yeah.
Um,
Woulda, shoulda, woulda.
yeah. But do the other teams, like the big name teams, like the Mercedes and the McLaren and the Red Bulls, do they take notice of this, or do they say like that's awesome, but I we can't bring him on? Like he's just maybe he's not in his prime anymore.
I think they take notice, but I think most of the teams what they do is they pair them with uh, a veteran and a rookie because they
Mm,
try to give some of the experience, but you can also you try to help the rookies because I'm amazed, man. Like we have a lot of rookies and the talent that we have seen from Formula 2, Formula 3, and all of the Piastri was a champion in Formula 2, Formula 3. Bartoletto is, Oliver Berman is, like a lot of rookies are. Leclerc is not a rookie, but they're like the from the younger generations.
sure.
They're doing great, man. All of these new generations, that they grow up racing and playing with the teams like Verstappen and everything.
Mhm.
They're just in another level, man, and they need the experience. Kimi Antonelli, the same thing. So if you give them Piastri when he came into McLaren, I heard this in the TV. When he came into McLaren, he was like half a second behind Lando
Sure.
in his first year, his rookie year. 1 year later, he was zero point 0.2 seconds behind Lando. This year, they're fighting at the same level. So it took a rookie 2 years, around 2 years, to be in the level to be fighting for world championship. So that's what other teams are looking into. So
Mm,
you see the Antonellis, you see the Hadjars, the Lawsons, the Duhan, the Colapintos, because they're trying to see who's going to be the next Max Verstappen, who's going to come in at 17, 18 years old and be the best, you
yeah.
know?
Here's something that I've picked up on, and I'm counting on you to tell me
Hmm.
if I'm wrong. So you have the young ones, right? The newer generation.
Hmm.
Um, some of these they've been racing the feeder series, right?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
so F3, F2. Um, a lot of them are they're they're very good at like driving
Hmm.
the car,
Hmm.
not against like driving against people who are experienced, right? So like you there it's like they're good at quality, for example, where they're not really like driving next
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
people and like um I think that there's a racecraft that like Alonso, Verstappen, Hamilton, the older generation, that where you get to realize, where they realize, who am I driving against?
Yeah.
And the psychology that goes behind, like, oh, this is Leclerc. I need to drive this way. And like you know, you get to know, you've been around, you recognize different styles and you adapt based on that. That obviously the younger generation has to sort of build up, right?
Yeah.
Is that accurate, or is that just me being?
No, I totally agree. And I think that comes from experience, that comes from racing against each other, racing, you know, Alonso, for example, how many races in Spain he has? Like, his home race. He probably knows more than a rookie, even though the rookies know they do 10 hours of teamwork in the Spanish Grand Prix or whatever. And nothing beats the actual racing like Alonso and Hamilton has. I totally agree with you. But these new generations, man, they're like in a whole new level. They have all the information, they have all the technology that the past generation didn't have. But I'm just amazed, man, of the newer generation. They keep being younger and younger. We have 18, 17 years olds coming into Formula One, and it's like super crazy, man.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy to think that in a few years, like 5, 10 years, something like that, we'll be talking about like Kimi Antonelli and like Bortoleto, maybe, I don't know, like being the old timers, and like they've been around, they have that, and then there's like a new generation of drivers, and I don't know, I think it's a really exciting like side of the sport that like, maybe you get to know these drivers and these sort of.
For example, Bortoleto is a rookie, right? But he also his manager team is Alonso. Alonso is part of his manager team, and he was saying before I came to Formula One, when I was in Formula 2, he was giving me advice of how to race and stuff like that. And now he's like, I come into Formula One and I have to race the guy that is giving me advice, And most of the drivers, they say the same thing. Once I put my visor down, it doesn't matter who the other guy is, right? I'm gonna fight them, or I'm gonna race them. But yeah, it's amazing. Like some of these younger generations grew up watching Hamilton, Alonso. It's like that's my hero, man, and now I have to raise my hero and beat him. If I wanna accomplish my dream of being a Formula One driver, become a Formula One race winner, and hopefully all of them want to be a Formula One champion, right? And they have to be their heroes in order to do that. And that's like, of course, like you said, it takes a change in your mentality. But yeah, it's amazing, man.
To recognize that you are also talented, and that, I mean, you're there for a reason, right? Like you idolize these drivers, and then all of a sudden you're driving next to them, and you're gonna have to. So yeah.
But at the same point, it's hard on the rookies, man. It's hard on the rookies because I heard this one time. It's like, man, I race in Formula 2, and now I'm thrown in like a pond with these sharks. Like they've been doing it forever. They know what they do, how to do it, and they have so much experience than me. And it's like my team expects me to beat them, And a lot of that depends on the car, but like the mentality has to be super crazy how to deal with that.
Yeah, and I keep going back to like it's racecraft, right? And we've digressed a lot, but Hülkenberg definitely showed that during this race.
Yeah.
And for him to get that podium finally after 239 races was awesome.
Yeah.
With one caveat. And I'm gonna let you, because I know you're angry about this.
Just like you said, you were angry about the Oscar incident, man. I have so much anger, and there's nothing. They haven't changed. It hasn't changed. It's still like you said, like, oh, I look into it, and it made me realize, like, okay, I have to calm down and everything.
No up and down. No.
Man, when I saw it, like after 15 years racing Formula One, man, 239 races. You get to the podium and then you get a Lego trophy. You get a Lego trophy. Are you freaking kidding me, man? I was so freaking. You could see it in his face, man. When they gave him the trophy, and he was like, "Why is this thing so light?" And then he was looking at the cameras and the other people, and he's like, "Well, I have to smile. I
Yeah,
have no
I mean,
choice.
I guess.
And it's like,
really.
it was so painful, man. And
Oh
then I
man.
was looking at other people saying like, when they're celebrating the stuff, and no one was celebrating with Niko his podium, because the three McLaren people were like to each other.
Mhm.
I didn't even realize, man, because I was so pissed
You were
from the
so mad.
Lego. Yeah. Because I saw that Lando got a trophy, a real trophy, and a Lego trophy.
Lando, the British driver.
Yeah, the British driver in the British Grand Prix. Yeah.
He got an actual trophy.
Yeah, he got a trophy and a Lego trophy. So he got 2 trophies, first of all. And then Piastri got another Lego trophy. No real trophy. And he was pissed. Well, but that's another.
For different reasons. For different reasons.
And then Niko got his Lego trophy, which made me pissed.
Yeah.
And
understandably. So here's the theory. They had the non-Lego trophy hidden in case a British driver won. If anybody else won or a non-British driver won, they were just going to give the Lego trophy.
I don't know. Don't make me more mad. What I was thinking, it was like maybe, there was a contract for sure with Lego company and Formula One. They just released their new Lego Formula One. Yeah, the new line. So I think they came to it like, you know what? We want to do Lego trophies. We want to do it in some of the race. And the Formula One say like, no, you're crazy. And they say like, we will pay you this much. And they say like, okay, I like the money.
Yeah.
I like the money. But with one thing, we cannot do that for whoever wins. We need to give them a trophy because, and it's like, okay, we'll take that. Yeah. And that's what happens.
I don't know. I so there's something happening here, but we'll have to wait to see what happens next year before we can make a final call.
Man, and the worst thing is like it's probably gonna be on sale like in a month. Like, oh, you wanna the British Formula One trophy, and they're gonna be selling it like for like $200 or so.
Yeah. And Niko Hülkenberg is just gonna be like, dude, I fought so hard for that trophy, and you can buy it for $200 or whatever.
And then your guy, Oscar Piastri, after the race, there's an interview for the podium in front of the journalists, and then Oscar Piastri came and asked Niko Hülkenberg about how do you feel after 15 years of Formula One driving? The trophy you get is a Lego trophy. And of course, Niko, being the best guy ever, he's like, oh, I like Lego, I like Lego. And you know what? My kid can play with it. So it's fine.
That's really cool. Man.
Could it be good, get some gold or silver? Sure, but I won't complain. That's how nice of a guy he is.
He just got his first podium, and they could have given him a bag of water.
I was pissed for him. Yeah.
Speaking of his daughter, I saw a video of his daughter when he wins. Like, so she's watching him on TV, and she's cheering so much, and I got like, it was so awesome to see that. Like, it was so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Oscar Piastri, those are words of somebody who is very salty.
Yeah.
And you could hear during the race how salty he was with that radio where he said like, well, that penalty was unfair, and I think we all think it's unfair, so maybe we just swap positions and race. And I go, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? I don't like that at all.
He was just throwing something, see
maybe
if
it works. Yeah.
Catch.
I don't know, man. It doesn't. Okay. That doesn't seem like a championship person or a champion's, a remark or a statement made by a champion.
I disagree.
Really?
I think that's what champions do. They complain even if it's 1 point.
Okay.
They go for everything.
I just can't picture Hamilton or Verstappen saying that.
I could.
You think?
I think so.
Oh man, I think we're gonna have to like agree to disagree.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It just seems like I'm trying to find like
desperate a little bit.
Yeah,
some people are
like
saying
desperate.
that. Some people are saying that. I don't agree. I think again, he was just trying to see if it's thick, and I don't think he was thinking like it was gonna happen. But might as well, if you don't. It's like they say, like if you don't say it, it will never happen.
Okay, fair enough. I heard it and I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
maybe.
I can see that. I can see
And it's coming from a guy like we never hear him on the radio. Like we've
Man,
talked about this before.
man, he was so pissed.
He
He
was
was
so
super.
angry,
He
man.
was like so pissed that he was this close of saying a bad word. You
We
know?
were talking about that in the radio. He goes like, I'd rather not say it because I'll
Yeah,
get in
I'll get
trouble.
in
I'll
trouble.
get in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Like man, I like we joke, right? We just say Oscar the robot Piastri, man. Again, he was super pissed, and we didn't see nothing, no reaction other than his saltiness and his smirks comments and his smart comments. Yeah.
He's not just a robot. Like he's a robot with like artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
and he's learned an emotion, and
Yeah.
it's like anger.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think he like
He's
like
barely
he's not used to it yet, quite yet.
No.
But yeah, he was very very upset, and I'm there with him. Again, I was here, anger, and then I came down, and then you've brought me back up.
I'm sorry.
No,
It wasn't my. I'm still angry about the Lego trophy, so we're both angry.
We're both angry, but I'm about to feel a little bit better.
Oh my god.
I'm about to feel a little bit better because
I'm not.
You're gonna get angrier.
I know what's coming. But go ahead. Let's get done with it.
Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Predictions.
Last hey,
week.
Wait. Editor, you know what time it is?
Get ready.
7-0.
7-0.
Oh my god.
There's still 12 races to go. You can still catch up.
Sure, if you say so. Is that a prediction?
No. There's definitely no
because I believe that if you say it, it's gonna be true.
No, I'm saying it's not impossible. It's improbable.
Just like Verstappen winning the championship. Well, there's still if you do the math,
it's mathematically possible.
There's still a chance.
Yeah, unlikely,
but there's a chance,
especially without Christian Horner.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Did we mention who's taking his place?
We didn't, which is it's super normal. There's 2 Red Bull teams.
So the other one gets called up.
Correct. It has happened before. Yeah, we saw it with Ferrari. Mm-hmm. They had Alfa Romeo, and they kind of own one of the driver seats on there, and they own part of the team. So when Fred Vasseur was part of the Alfa Romeo, the team principal, and then he jumped into Ferrari when Binotto was kicked out. So right. We have seen it happening. Same thing happened with the Red Bull thing. Christian Horner is out, and the RB guy goes in.
He moves up.
Correct.
Good luck to him because it's been a very challenging season for Red Bull.
And we'll see what happens the next season, but there's still half of the season. I'm excited about that. We have the predictions already done, and we can start with the predictions for the next race now.
Let's do that. Mm-hmm.
So you take the lead, man. I'm pissed twice. So
okay,
Belgium,
the Belgium Grand Prix. You remember we talked about how Oscar Piastri is a robot and he learned the emotion of like anger, mm-hmm. right? He's like experiment. I think that
he's gonna learn a new emotion,
vengeance and like
revenge.
Like revenge, yeah. So he's gonna come back and just like obliterate. He's gonna do so well.
I like it.
I think he's gonna come back and get. Here's a spicy opinion or a spicy prediction. Not only is he going to win the race, he's going to get the fastest lap, so he's going to get the 25 points.
There's no more fast. There's no more points, extra points on the fastest.
There was.
No. They took it out on this year because people were playing around with it. Like even if they were like 9 or 10 plays, they went into the pits because they had the space and changed it to soft and took away the fastest lap. So people were playing around with it and they decided like, you know what, we're gonna get rid of it. They still have like the
they call it out,
but there's no points. There's no extra points anymore.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I should have. I think.
Yeah, all this season. Yeah. Only half a season has happened, but that's fine. That's fine. We're both
better late than never. Yeah, better late than never.
We're both fans, new Formula One fans.
Fair enough. Okay. So I'm gonna backtrack. He's still gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
He'll still get the fastest lap, but obviously no points for that.
Extra point, yeah.
24 points for that.
25. He still gets 25.
20.
No, 25, and the extra point was 26.
No, you're right, because it's a 7-point difference between. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, because 18, right?
So he gets first place. Piastri gets first place.
Piastri gets first. First place. Second place goes to Max Verstappen.
I like it.
Yeah, and then third place will have the Norris. The winner. I was gonna say the winner of this the British Grand Prix.
The British guys that won the British Grand Prix.
Yes,
nah, I can't believe that.
The very same. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, I'll see your hand and I'll raise you because we didn't talk too much, but we saw Max Verstappen on the race. He got a slip and he went from second place to 10th place and he did a little bit of recovery. So just like you said, he doesn't need to learn. He already knows revenge.
Okay.
He's coming with a vengeance. So I'm putting Max Verstappen P1.
Okay.
And then I'm putting Oscar Piastri P2. And then who's the British driver again? Lando Norris, the British guy, the British guy on third place.
Okay.
So that's my podium for the next race.
Okay. The current standings after this race, there are 8 points between them.
8 points.
8 points between them. So if what you say happens, there'll still be
he's still ahead. 3 points I or put Piastri like in front of him.
So 3 points ahead.
Yeah. I don't want.
I'm okay with that.
I don't want to breed. I was against you with the Piastri thing, and then I realized I hate the British media. And I was like, I don't want.
Lando's not media. Lando's the driver.
But he's British. And the British media is gonna like, oh, we have His Holiness came into the world to save Formula One from all the other people. Like, no, man, no. Yeah. So that was like the pretty chill British Grand Prix, you know. It was
nothing exciting.
I would say okay, going a little bit above average. I would rate it 9.9 out of 10. I would say pretty okay.
Worth watching if you have nothing better to do.
Again, leave the jokes aside. It was great. I'm excited for it. Half the season is over. I'm excited for the next half. We have the best team right now, honestly, McLaren. We have 2 good drivers on the team, and they're fighting for the championship. And I think that's what everybody's excited for.
Yeah, I do. We saw it during the last race, and I want to see it again. Is more McLarens fighting each other. So hopefully the Belgian Grand Prix gives that to us. But if not, I'm happy with Oscar winning, and Lando can be whatever he wants to do.
As long as the British guy doesn't win, I'm okay, man.
Well, you have to be more specific, man. There's like 5 of them.
Either
in any of them.
And you can blame it on the media.
Blame it on the media.
Yeah.
The drivers are fine.
Yeah, I love them. I love all of them.
But it's the media.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you at the next race.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.